Good afternoon, Lynx, and welcome to our tour. Today, we will be touring the music hallways. More specifically, though, the orchestra rooms. Today is extra important because tonight we are hosting the first orchestra concert of the year at 7 o'clock in the Fieldhouse. So make sure to be there and cheer loudly for our lead soloist and for playing the oboe, Grace Veit. Today's tour will have 3 main stops. First up, interests, hobbies, and favorites at 6 o'clock. Family and friends at 7, and last but not least, her plans for her big future at 8:30. So let's march right into it. Up on the board, you can see the practice rooms, which is where Grace would spend most of her free time if she could. Grace practices her oboe and her French horn there. Another interest of Grace is math. Math has been a big part of Grace's life ever since she was a little girl. She loves solving math problems, and it ties into her music today. As she sees it today, music is just another puzzle that is meant to solve. And she loves solving them. And she likes hearing the end results of her music, and once she hears the end of it, it just makes everything better. When she isn't practicing for Allstate or helping the younger kids with marching band, she can be seen doing so many other things, like at her house eating her favorite food, cheese pizza, watching her favorite movie, The Parent Trap, or surfing YouTube. Grace's top 2 YouTubers are Martha Agridge and Mr. Beast. It's time, so let's rush to the Fieldhouse so we can get some seats for the show. Sitting right front and center are her grandparents, Joanne and Albert. Grace loves her grandparents because of their ability to overcome any obstacle that comes their way. Up in their usual spots is her dad, Jeff, her mom, Michelle, and her boyfriend, Jack. Jack and Jeff usually tend to cheer the loudest in between songs, even though in the orchestra world, it can be seen as rude cheering for people in between songs. Unfortunately, not here tonight is her little brother, Jack, and her little brother, Evan. Grace knows that if her little brothers were at the show that they would just be bored, so they usually stay home or at their friend's house. Also not here tonight is Grace's Aunt Robin, her cousin Toby, and her Uncle John. They live in Denver, Colorado, so the trip up here and back for each concert would be kind of hard. But they do tend to tune in to the live streams, which is what everybody should do if they're too busy to go to the concert. That took a while to decompose, so let's go into her goals and dreams for the future. Grace wants to live in Omaha, preferably 50th or 120th Street, but if that's not possible, Illinois would be a great home for Grace. She plans on being in the New York Phil, the Boston Phil, or the Omaha Symphony. What cannot be seen in Grace's future is kids. She sees kids as an expensive liability and just a waste of money. Grace has visited many places, such as Boston, Cedar Point, Salem, and Niagara Falls. And she plans on visiting Ireland, St. Petersburg, Denmark, and Jerusalem. That wraps it up for our tour, so let's remember what we learned today. Her hobbies, interests, and favorites at 6, her family and friends at 7, and last but not least, her future plans at 8:30. That's all.